The preseason favorites taking on the new kids on the block. Louisiana Tech, picked to win Conference USA, still in search of its first road conference win. Takes on a Kennesaw State squad undefeated at home with a star-studded freshman class working to make headlines once again. Thanks for joining us for a great night of basketball. Nolan Alexander here with the longtime coach, Brandon Johnson. Coach, excited to saddle it up with you coming off your first network TV gigs. Great job, and what a matchup tonight.
Indeed, it is a matchup. Conference USA, you have the preseason favorite, which was Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, coming against the last preseason favorite is the new kids on the block, Kennesaw State Owls. So somewhere in line, they've got to come in the middle, battle this thing out, and see who is true contender in this league. One
thing these teams have in common is close finishes. Let's take you back to their last games. Thursday night, Louisiana Tech on the road at Jacksonville State, late down by 2, a foul with 11 seconds to go. So the Bulldogs get a set play from out of bounds. It goes to Sean Newman, second in the nation in assists. However, here says, I got them myself. Step back 3 for the win. No, too strong to the right. And the Gamecocks hold on and make it 7 straight wins at home inside Pete Matthews Coliseum, a 2-point win. Kennesaw State taking on the defending regular season champs, Sam Houston State, gets a hold late defensively. Then Simeon Cottle for the win from half court. No, going to overtime. Cottle hits his first 3 in the extra period, and the Owls go on a strong run against Sam Houston with these freshmen. Jamil Miller, a massive flush, all the momentum with the hosts. Another star freshman, Braden Liu, had the double-double over the Bearcats as the Owls win by 6. For more on KSU, let's check in with a third member of our team, Maria Martin. Look at this in the league. A 6-way tie for third place. More than half the league sitting at 5 and 4. We'll see who moves to the top here in the month of February. Nolan Alexander joined by Jordan Griffith. Thanks for tuning in. Courtside here in Kennesaw, Georgia. Truck Turner, the former college basketball star. Truck, we've got 3 of the top 5 scores in Conference USA. The stars have aligned for this one. Bully, Miller time!
Beautiful pass by Simeon Cottle on the baseline, and Miller pushes the button on the Bearcats.
The freshman rocks the rim, lead at 3 for KSU. Newman lost the handle. Woolley slams it. Head away, blocked by Sherman, who keeps it in bounds. A stellar play from the sophomore. Now he comes up for the loose ball. Look at that hustle. Woolley underneath and 1.
Just great.
Clip it, name it, show it in a clinic. Maggie Tucker, the academic advisor for the Owls, has done excellent work this year for KSU. Second missed, Woolley, who sports almost a 4.0 as a freshman, pulls down the board. UTEP still feeling the scoring drought. 9-0 run for the Owls. Stolen away, might come to an end here. Terrell in the fast break, and he tomahawks it down. Cottle, P-check. Oh yeah!
My goodness.
Simeon Cottle, 4 straight makes from the field. Barnes working baseline, bounces. Kalu tries for back-to-back, but he's denied by Ronji Gordon. Good defense from the senior out of Montgomery, Alabama. Oh!
Oh my goodness.
Freeze it! Posterize it! This game was tied at 36 at halftime. KSU led by as much as 9 in the first half. Right over to Liu, who goes over Nicholson for the slam. That's the second time tonight that Liu's done that. And now he comes up with a steal. Gordon, right. Back out to Cottle. Oh my! Woolley finds Cottle. Over to Liu, and Liu throws it down with a foul. 2:30 to go. Middle Tennessee trying to groove on the way to Conference USA's 6th road win on a Saturday. So they hang on to what has been trimmed to a 6-point lead. Justin Porter, early in January, practicing the Hakuna Matata life. No worries. That's it. In tweet. Hit send. Since then, here's how things transpire. That was the first 2 conference games. Oh, look at that. A surge of 15 more points per game. Field goal percentage has gone through the roof, and he's hitting a third of his 3-pointers. Senior day at Kennesaw State, and for Ricardo Wright, transferred to the program from SMU. Wright, a Eustis, Florida native. His father, a former DJ named Night Owl, had a food truck, Night Owl Caribbeans, for 15 years. Opened up his own restaurant. There's his father, Richard Wright. And on the visit to Kennesaw State, something caught their eye. The Night Owls, the same DJ and restaurant name. Those are the Night Owls who work with event and venue management for game day operations. Richard, the father, saw that, told Ricardo, that seals the deal. This is the place to be. Ricardo, of course, agreed. And here he is, senior day for Kennesaw State. There's one of those Night Owls. And there you saw Williams finishing it off for the former Oklahoma State Cowboy. Last year, he played against Abilene Christian. The Wildcats won, and Brett Tanner told us that was a big part of their recruiting pitch. As Williams transferred to Abilene Christian this year, now the leading scorer at just under 14 a game. Hard hit to the floor for FIU's Jonathan Abar. And he's overcome so many injuries in his career. That one on the noggin. Jeremy Ballard, the head coach for the Panthers, told us he's got 8 screws in his ankle. As tough as they come, called him just a dream to coach for his maturation. And one that he apologized to in the recruiting process. His father, Ramon, played at FIU, felt like they missed the boat on him. Went to UNF as soon as he got in the portal. Ballard was the first call. Said, hey, I'm sorry, we'd love to have you. As Lou pokes that one loose from Abar, possession still with the Panthers.
I mean, you look at these guys, Braden Lou, Adrian Woolley, these are freshmen. Last year, this time, they were getting ready to probably go to the state tournament or something like that. Now these guys are playing great minutes, handling the ball, floor generals for the Owls, and doing a great, great job.
Well, Braden Lou was doing that, taking Alexander High School, the Cougars, to the state title. Picking up State Player of the Year honors in the process.
There, you get your butt in his gut, but when that defender's on you that close, that's the perfect time to do a spin move, and he read that defense well and was able to convert.
Can we just get a butt in the gut reference for me there, Coach Jay?
Yes. Yeah, when a post guy is posting, you tell him to get a little low. Really get your defense, get steals, and get stops. That really ignites your offense, and it's showing out here with that 22-4 lead.
Presbyterian, 1 of 9 from the floor to speak to that. Oh, Braden Lou! No, sir!
Getting used to feeling that basketball again, you know?
Well, I believe it. Your name is Truck. You were the one that was breaking hands and elbows. No one was doing that to you.
I hope so, but I tell you.
Their defense has picked up for this season.
And that's something Golding talked about. He said, yeah, they're really talented on offense, but do not overlook their defense. They play tenacious defense. And Woolley turns it over. And this is a UTEP team entering tonight, 8th best turnover margin in the nation. 17 turnovers forced per game. That's second nationally.
Yes.
The floor of Conference USA is the ceiling for some other conferences this year.
Not the roof.
The floor. That's a deep cut right there. That's a good one.
Antoine Petway was a water bug. I mean, a very fast, pesky guard that played great defense once he got strong at Alabama, and that's how he coached his team to be.
Yeah, y'all haven't brought up you've been on opposite sides of the Iron Bowl.
That's true. We don't want to go there. We'd rather talk about basketball now than football.
Cool stuff. He's fluent in English now, and apparently he does a little bit of trash talking on the court, Nolan.
Yeah, we learned that fact late. That one was interesting. Great reporting there, Maria.
And Tanner said, yeah, he was told that he actually has bad Italian after 1 year in America.
After just 1 year?
She was also a conference freshman of the year, like how he was last year in Conference USA.
So you're saying it's in the DNA? Is that what you're telling us?
He's got a lot better bloodlines than I do. And Jade Barquette has more for us. Jade. Cottle, step back. Ka-ching! Simeon Cottle lights up the crowd, and the Owls lead by 5. And a timeout on the floor. Crowd into it as Simeon Cottle has dialed up 17 points. A 6-0 run for KSU. Cottle, top 5 in the conference in scoring, lights it up from distance.
This is his assignment, and he did a great job.
Woolley. Over 20 points for Adrian Woolley in a Conference USA high 8 times in league play. 11th time in the last 15 games. Cottle, top of the key. Kansas, Simeon Cottle with 16 points thanks to his third 3.
Great movement inside that paint by the Owls.
Simeon Cottle's moving all sorts of ways right now and dropping it in double figures with 11.
Well, he didn't get inside the paint, ladies and gentlemen, but he put that ball up inside the basket, which that's all that matters, huh?
11 for Cottle, coming off a 30-point performance in which he went 10 of 14. Nick McDevitt, head coach of the Blue Raiders, so impressed with that margin. Meanwhile, he's got to be impressed with Justin Porter rattling in back-to-back 3 balls and 3 so far here in the first half.
Well, Justin Porter
Cottle takes it himself and has the runner. 18 for Simeon Cottle, who's taking control of this ball game and warrants a timeout as the Owls have their largest lead of the night. Cottle, the masked man, locked in, trying to give the Owls a win in the Conference USA WAC Challenge. First-year head coach for the Hilltoppers, Hank Polona, huddling up with the Western Kentucky squad. Graduate of Providence in 07, found out the day after he graduated, he had an offer to be a graduate assistant for 2 years. Rest is history. Just a phenomenal run at Indian Hills. Came last year as the assistant, this year as the head coach. Doing a good job at Western Kentucky, 14-8 on the season. Trying to lead the Tops back to the NCAA tournament with a team that returned a lot of talent from last year. Don't always see that, especially with mid-majors to make the big dance. Meanwhile, for Kennesaw State, it's year 2 for Antoine Petway. Head coach for the Owls says, I hit the jackpot with this team. I love this team. Calls them everyday dudes, but so impressed with the culture and the buy-in, especially from this youthful squad that's 3rd in the nation in percentage points that come from freshmen, behind Duke and Rutgers. Bayless, mid-range, off to the left, he beat the horn. But a tough look for Western Kentucky. A 10-0 run here for Kennesaw State. Hilltoppers still without a field goal. Woolley penetrates, blocked by the defense. Leroy Odiaye with the swat. His 19th of the season for the Irishman.
Yeah, once again, I think the stat sheet might not show that they're fantastic when it comes to paint defense, but they swarm, and they have length, and they have size. That you cannot replicate.
Franquan Sherman in the spot of Braden Liu. Shot fake by Woolley, works baseline. Woolley swatted, and he'll head to the line.
The art of the pump fake. It is such a nuanced, I guess, characteristic of your game or skill set of your game to have in your tool belt. You don't develop that until later in your career. I know we keep talking about how he's a freshman, and look what he's been able to do. A beautiful pump fake is something that I think is underrated about his game and about everyone's game, something that I think should be talked about more.
Silly numbers for Adrian Woolley, the freshman.
It's crazy, Nolan, to have the expectation that he has because of the standard that he set for himself. Only his production is speaking for itself. Nobody's out there saying, hey, Adrian, we expected you coming in to put up almost 20 points per game. I mean, can you think of how crazy that sounds saying it out loud? But that is now the standard that he has produced here at Kennesaw State.
Hilltoppers trying to end an 11-0 Owl run. Floater off the heel. Western Kentucky 0 for 8. Almost got the ball back. Great effort there. Colombe fighting for it, forces a jump ball, and possession stays with WKU. Great second effort from the senior out of Quebec, Enoch Colombe.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, especially when you're in a dry spell, in a drought like they are right now. 3-on-1, that's a lot of white jerseys, and that's only one red jersey. You hit the deck, and that is what you come up with, and that's a big effort play. Didn't get the reward ultimately, but you still like to see that from Colombe.
Cottle gets his hand in there off the possession of Lander, and that was something big for Cottle, too. In the games last week, again, didn't have great field goal shooting percentage. However, he stayed engaged in the game. Great at free throws, sprinkled in some rebounds, and then steals, a handful of steals against FIU.
And Nolan, that's the ultimate signifier of a good teammate. Because it's easy when you're not, you classify yourself as a scorer, you're not hitting the shots.
Woolley. Oh, it's wet. Adrian Woolley with his second triple. And a timeout for Western Kentucky. This one getting ugly for the Hilltoppers in the first half.
Well, he's hitting the shots. He's unstoppable right now. Nolan, we talked about the runs in the pregame. Kennesaw State 14-0 run over the last 3.5. That is enough to win a ball game. Obviously, more than enough time for Western to answer in this half alone. But man, it's the spurtability of Kennesaw State, and when Woolley continues to command and orchestrate his workings in the offense, this team is incredibly hard to stop.
9 points.
Yeah,
6 minutes and 9 seconds.
We just got started.
Let's check in with Lauren Hoffman. Lauren.
Well, guys, I couldn't hear much what they were saying, but that WKU timeout was not one you wanted to be a part of. They seemed really, really frustrated. There was a lot of yelling, but it mostly was from a standpoint of just bringing up the energy. And you can see they're kind of coming out flat here. While on the other side, Kennesaw State is bringing that energy, bringing all the momentum the WKU needs to find if they want to stay in this game or be in this game.
Thanks, Lauren. Just opposites from the last time they met. Hilltoppers are up by 20 a month ago when these teams met up in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Owls lost by 11. They trimmed it to single digits in the second half, but that big run for WKU, too much. Marshall, meanwhile, eyes the three, and there's the first field goal for the Hilltoppers, and it comes from downtown on the 33% three-point shooter.
Yeah, that's the guy that they're going to have to key in on. He finally broke the spell for the Hilltoppers, and I think this is kind of carryover from the last game. 59-point second half, you're bound for somewhat of a letdown. Energy-wise, they did come out flat, but that three could get them right back into it, and I think it will.
Woolley on the blocks, feeling the heat at 2, gets underneath. How does he do it? Adrian Woolley in double figures, barely into the ball game. I'm at a loss.
Yeah. I don't know what to say either. It's my job to say something here, and I don't know. I mean, he does it all.
Oh, Lander and the Hilltoppers starting to heat up from distance. Back-to-back threes for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, don't let them get hot from beyond. 18 threes against New Mexico State. That was just one shy of their program record. Again, that was the best version of them that we've seen so far this year. We'll see if the Owls can keep them hemmed in or if they're bound for another good shooting performance.
Cottle with under 10 to get a shot off. Cottle beats the horn. Rolls out. Defensive rebound for Marshall, lobbing it ahead. Colombe on the baseline. Size advantage over Cottle, but he misses it off the glass.
And Cottle pulled the chair out on the second bump. He knew he was going to catch a shoulder to the chest. That was brilliant defending from Cottle.
Loose ball, Western Kentucky with the turnover.
Boy, they got active hands on the other side too, right?
Colombe with a shot fake, uses the screen.
Oh, wow, that was aggressive clear out from Colombe.
Lost the basketball, possession with the Owls.
Let's see. Okay, well, he did get away with a little bit of a, of a move of that pivot foot, but still the athleticism to where he was stuck versus where he ended, two very different spots. Sure, he got away with, I think, moving that pivot foot for sure, but that doesn't take away from what he's been able to do.
Multiple subs in the floor, notably McHenry back in the floor for Western Kentucky. Fourth game in a row, he's not in the starting lineup. Seals had big minutes against FIU, but the freshman turns it over. 31 against the Panthers, a spark plug off the bench with 13 points. The most significant action for the Tampa native in his first year in the league.
And Nolan, what I hope is he doesn't feel that pressure to recreate that magic, right? You just want to come in, play efficient minutes, do what you're supposed to do your job on the floor. Don't feel like you have to replicate that performance every single time you get on the floor.
Lou causes the steal. Hurd open. Off the iron. Good rebound by Bayless, weaving up the floor. Bayless has it stolen away by Woolley. Woolley on the fast break, dunks it for the Owls. Timeout on the floor. It's Woolley's world. We're all just living in it. 20-8 lead for Kennesaw State at the 11:37 mark. Defense to offense. Number 6 freshman score of the nation coming to your living room. Owls up by 12.